All right. So, like yesterday, we started with the landforms created by wind, right? We also call them aeolian landforms, right? So, yesterday we did cover this. Now, what is desert? Like the definition of desert. Few. What is the reason uh, through which deserts are formed, especially the hot desert, right? We discussed about why most of the deserts are in subtropical high pressure zone between this 20 to 35 degree latitudes, right? And then we did classification. This was the geographical classification, climatic types of desert, and then we had this geological, right, based on the sediment size, right? So like this is good. You should revise these five keywords. So now this will give you good marks. This is an often asked question. Types of desert. It was asked in CSE 2000, I think in 18, and it was asked in IFS also in 2017. So this is a like often repeated question, right? And then after that we discussed some basic characteristic of desert, right? Like kind of weathering which dominates the desert, right? There's less rainfall and the characteristic of rainfall, all these things we did. So we started with this action of wind on desert. So we'll start from here today, right? So see what happened in desert. There is no river, right? There is no river, there is no glacier, right? And so these agents don't have their landforms in desert. In desert, the primary geomorphic agent operating is the wind, right? So what wind do in desert, right? So suppose this is a desert, and it has a lot of sands and maybe some pebbles and stones, all these things, and the wind is blowing generally like this. So what wind will do with these sediments, right? So wind can do three different things. So we have decided those we have divided those processes in these three keywords, in these three names, right? The first one is deflation. So what happens is when the wind is blowing, wind has energy, it has momentum, so it will pick up small sediments, right? And it will pick the sediments from here and it will deposit maybe outside desert or maybe in some other parts of desert, right? This deposition of wind or deposition of this sand from desert to outside, what this leads to desertification of this non-desert area, right? So this is what is happening in Saharan desert, it is happening in Thar desert, right? Saharan desert is also like, this is Africa, this is Saharan desert. It is expanding towards south, or even sometimes towards north, based on the direction of the wind. Right. The same thing is happening with the Thar desert. Right. So to avoid this, what we do is we stabilize the landscape by planting trees. Right. Specific kind of trees. So okay. So this process is known as deflation. So deflation is nothing but lifting and blowing away the loose material from the desert by wind. So you are clear with deflation. What else can wind do? What wind can do is also, suppose this is that same desert, the wind is blowing, wind has picked up some small sand, and suppose there is a rock, right? There are rocks. So the wind will blast these rocks by these sand particles, right? So what will happen? These sand particles, although they are very tiny, but wind has a property that it is very constant, it is very consistent, right? It is not like us, like we study 7 days like very well, then next 4 5 days we don't study anything, then we again study for 10 days, something like that. So this is not the case with wind. What wind do is it is very consistent, it will keep hitting, keep blasting these rocks, right? And then it will weather this rock also. So this process is known as abrasion, right? So abrasion is nothing but sand blasting of rock surface by the wind, right? Then the third thing which can happen is attrition. Attrition is nothing, the wind is blowing, wind is carrying sediments with it. Now, some sediment size is larger, some are smaller, so their velocity also differs, right? Some are in the upper layer, some are in lower layer. So they keep rolling against each other. They keep fractioning against each other. So that is also a process. So these are the three process: D, A. Right. So in any question of desert landform, you have to use these three keywords. Deflation is nothing lifting and blowing away of the loose matter, right? Abrasion is nothing but the sandblasting of rock, and when those small sand they undergo friction between each other, that is known as attrition, right? So this is three important processes which are happening in desert. Sometimes UPSC may ask you directly, what is desert? Enumerate the processes conducted by wind in desert and write short note on the landforms in desert. So in the processes happening, eh, you have to write these three keywords, right? So this is a detailed slide. Like I just summarize it for you in the previous slide. This is again, we'll revise it. So first process is deflation. First Aeolian process is deflation. So deflation is nothing but lifting and removal of loose material, right? So see this. This is a very good diagram. You can draw it in exam. So this is a desert, right? Suppose this is a cross section. So deflation is happening. The this pinkish is what? This is sand, and these are pebbles, the bigger size sediments, right? So the wind is like with time, maybe in few hundreds year, the wind will take away a lot of sand, and the density or the concentration of pebble increases, right? Pebble will remain there, sand gets blown away, right? And then with time, most of the sand will get blown away, and you will get is highly concentrated pebbles. So this itself is a landform. At some places, if you have visited area near Jaisalmer, so maybe some 40-50 kilometers north of Jaisalmer, you will get such kind of landform. There are like you won't find much of the sand, but a lot of pebbles are there, the concentrated pebbles at some places. So that area or that landform is nothing but they are desert pavement. Now this is a keyword, desert pavement. So it is a landform created by the process of deflation, right? So see here, the wind removes all the fine grained sands and leave behind only the coarse grain, the uh, bigger particles, right? So this is the first landforms created by the process of deflation. Again, deflation creates another landform which we call as blowouts, right? So see, this is it. This is nothing but this is sand, right? Once upon a time, it would all would have been at a level ground, but with time, this specific area, this area has been eroded, right? The wind has taken away a lot of sand from here. So you can see a depression here. A depression has created here. If wind keep operating in this way, this depression will get even deeper, right? This will get deeper, and there is a chance that if there is a groundwater present below this, sometimes this will reach so deep that it will reach the water table, right? And we'll get is a very famous thing in desert which we call as oasis, right? You must have heard about na presence of a lake in the middle of a desert. So that is nothing but that is formed due to erosion of all the sand in that area, and we get a lake, right? This is groundwater water table, and here there is sand, here there is sand, and this area is blown away. So we got this is blowout, right? And if it reaches groundwater table, we get a lake which we call as oasis, right? So this is nothing but you should remember this deflation. What is deflation and what kind of landforms it could create? It could create this desert pavement. You can draw this diagram and you can draw this blowout, right? The simple diagram. Then the second process is abrasion, right? So abrasion is nothing but it is sandblasting of rock. See here, the wind is blowing. This is a hill. This is a rock, and it will keep eroding it. It will keep eroding this surface, right? It will keep blasting this surface, and this surface will get weathered and also polished, right? Polished as compared to the other side. So suppose if we have to divide this rock on the basis of wind direction, this is windward side. We call it windward side, and the opposite is lee side. These are also two important keywords. This will keep coming up now and then. You will also study these two keywords in sedimentology, sedimentary structures. So if suppose there is any structure, wind is coming, this direction is windward direction, and this opposite direction is leeward direction, right? So the windward direction get polished due to abrasion. So it is pretty logical, right? So this is one of the thing. And very important landform which we get through this process is what we call as mushroom rock. You can see this rock, isn't it looking like a mushroom, right? So once upon a time, what would have been? It would have been something like this. It would have been maybe rectangular or something like this. But the wind direction is this. This is the wind direction, right? So the wind is at higher speed at the surfacial level, and at the height, the wind has lower speed, right? So when the wind has higher energy, higher speed in the uh, surfacial level, it will erode the base more than the top. So see here there is more erosion in the base, and there is less erosion at the top. So due to this differential velocity, we get this mushroom rock, right? So like you must be getting a lot of new terminologies. So maybe I don't see in all these landforms, in this landform, whether it is any aeolian, glacier, groundwater, any, you will have 7 to 8 new terms, right? 7 to 8 new names of landforms which you need to remember, and you just need to practice the diagram. This is the only demand from geomorphology, right? So we have just starting the we have not yet not started with the landform. We are just like reading about the processes. Now we'll come to landform, then it will get more easy for you. So don't get bogged down. I've just included this example here for you to make more sense, right? So what this abrasion is doing, right? And the third one is attrition. So attrition is nothing. Particles carried by wind, they collide against each other. Na? They amongst themselves they keep colliding, right? So like this is a suppose this is a sediment and wind is carrying it. It will drop it here. Then again it will pick it up and drop it somewhere else. So sometimes even in at the at some higher level they keep colliding and they keep weathering, and their size keep on decreasing, right? So see here the size is more as the particles travel, their size keeps on decreasing, right? So this is a simple thing. So now we will start with the landforms. So these are the three processes, right? These are my handwritten notes. These are the handwritten notes. So we know about DAA, right? Deflation, abrasion, and attrition. So we know what these are, right? So now these are the landforms. Like all our landforms, we will divide them into two categories: whether they are erosional or whether they are depositional, right? So whether when these were formed due to erosional action of wind, or they were formed when wind was depositing the sediments, right? Like in case of river, which we will do next, river also has many landforms. You must have heard about delta, right? You must have also heard about waterfall. What else you have heard? You must have, right, had you must have learned about valley, right? River valleys. So can anybody tell me where deltas are formed? Where deltas are formed? Like deltas are formed near the sea. So at that place, what river is doing? Primarily, is it eroding or is it depositing?
depositing.
Yes, so we will classify delta as depositional landform, right? And where waterfalls are formed, generally falls are formed in the initial stages of river, like the river Ganga, right? River Ganga originate where? Near Gangotri, and it is flowing in the Himalayas, and near Haridwar Rishikesh it reaches the plains, and it will keep flowing in the plains, right? It will cross Kanpur, maybe Patna, and then it will enter where Bengal, and it will enter the sea. This is Bay of Bengal, right? So you will see most of the waterfall they are present in this area in the hilly terrain. Like this is what Haridwar, this is Rishikesh. So this is a place where Ganga enters the plain. इसके पहले Ganga is in the hilly terrain, very high and enthusiastic in energy, very fast paced river. And here you'll see near Bengal the Ganga gets very sluggish, very slow, right? So because then it don't have much energy, it will keep depositing the sediments whatever it has been carrying from the mountains. So the same thing happened with wind also, same thing happened with glacier and all other geomorphic agents, right? So that is the thing we will be studying. So these are the names which you need to remember, right? So there are erosional landforms, they are deflation hollow. What it is, we'll see in detail in next 2-3 minutes. There is mushroom rock, there is Inselberg, and these are two famous Jurgen and Yardengs, right? And then one important vent effect. And the most important depositional landform of river is sand dunes, right? We call it dunes only. So you see, we'll analyze the previous year question tomorrow. Like I have compiled them, but I have not included them in the slide. So you will see there are mainly two or three varieties of question. Either UPSC ask, write a short note on aeolian landforms. All right. Otherwise, they will ask short note on erosional aeolian landforms, right? Or depositional aeolian landforms. These are three kinds of question. Very rarely they will zoom in and ask something, write something on Inselberg, write something on mushroom rock. They won't do it, but they can do it with sand dunes because they are very very major landforms, and they are among the only landforms of depositional landforms of wind, right? So they may ask you the question, write a short note on sand dunes. So we will do that in great detail, but UPSC is not going to ask anything in an individual. They will ask now the broad topic. So you will see you will have a lot of content to write. So you can write that in the given time and space only when you draw the diagrams, right? So like we'll see that we'll start with erosional features of wind, right? So the first important landform created by wind is hollows. Hollows are nothing, but these are a void. These are nothing but a ऐसा गड्ढा type का है, a lake kind of thing, right? So what is happening is nothing. Wind is this is why this is like formed by the same process which we talked about blowouts. So hollow is nothing but it is a blowout formed by the process of deflation. So what was deflation? Deflation is nothing. Wind is blowing over a desert. It is picking up the sediments and taking them away and making a void over here, right? So a very famous deflation hollow is Katara depression, right? It is a very famous depression in Egypt, right? So in Egypt, you must have heard about the local winds, right? In geography we read about local winds. So they keep flowing from this Mediterranean Sea. The lot of winds keep flowing through here along with this trade winds, right? So there is a constant flow of trade winds in this area, right? Something like this. So they keep on carrying the sediment from here, and they've created a depression which is 122-meter below sea level, right? Such a huge depression is there, so which is famously called as Katara depression, right? So I hope you got it. This is a diagram. So this is nothing, just wind has taken away sand from this area, right? And if there could be some water in this lake, if there is local groundwater is there, right? So groundwater will come up. So this is also known as oasis, right? So this is the first landform, right? Then this is a second landform created by erosional action of wind. So see, uh, does this look like mushroom? Like mushroom is also something like this only now, narrow from below, and then it is, something like this. So this is also something like this. So this happened because there might be a rock in the desert, and the energy of wind is more at the lower level than at the higher level. So wind has done more erosion in the lower level than the higher level. So we get this figure. So initially this could have been something like this, right? And then wind keep on blowing. Here the speed is even higher, right? So with time, what will happen? Something like this. And with time, more it will get more narrow and broad from above, something like this. So we get this mushroom rock. We call it mushroom rock. This is a very famous feature. You can see this mushroom rock in, maybe there are some famous mushroom rock in Tamil Nadu, in Australia, right? The Ayers rock, all these things. So all these detail is there in the next slides, right? I'm just giving you an overview. Then another important is Inselberg, right? So see this picture. This is a snapshot taken from an aeroplane, right? Right. This is a snapshot taken from an aeroplane, right? So see what you can see is, am I audible? Are you there, right? I was just taking my
Yes, sir.
okay, okay, right. So you can see this is a
So, if you want to check the recording.
thank you. I'll check it. Yeah, recording is on. Fine. So you can see this is a snapshot from aeroplane. This all is a desert, na? More or less a semi arid desert kind of thing. There are some very small stuff you can see, and see this is a huge hill standing in between of the desert. So can somebody guess how it could have been formed as a geologist, right? What could be the reason behind this presence of this standalone hill in the middle of a desert? What could have happened is, like earlier there could have been rock everywhere, right? But this particular hill would have been a very hard rock, right? So the wind has managed to erode everything which was present here. Now earlier all this would have been, would have been like a plateau. So the wind over few million years, it has eroded everything, but this must have been a very hard rock, right? So due to its hard and resistant nature, wind could not erode it, and it is standing there. Maybe in few thousand year times, wind will be able to erode this too. So this, that is the reason of this standalone rock, which we call as Inselberg, right? And then there are these two important words. One is Jujan and one is Yardang. So this is also nothing like uh, special. It is also due to the presence of contrasting rock, right? Now there might be some rocks which are very hard, like this would have been an hard rock. If a rock is hard, then it is difficult to erode. Now it is more resistant to erosion by wind, and this could have been a softer rock, right? uh, Something like this, again a harder rock, again a softer rock, something like this. Now this is an horizontal profile, right? So we are going deep in the earth. This is the first layer, this is the second layer, third, fourth layer inside the earth, right? It's like I have a better slide for this handwritten notes. So see, this is geogen is nothing when the layers, there is alternate hard and soft layers, right? So see, earlier this could have been something like this. So in this what you have to write is, if you are writing the land erosional landforms, you just have to write about deflation hollow, write one line about how it was formed, give an example of Katara depression, and draw this diagram, right? Similarly, mushroom rock, just write one line, draw this diagram, and tell that the energy is more at the downside, so more erosion. Same is with the Inselberg. Just draw this diagram, something like this, and just write one or two 3-4 words in it, and then you have to write about Eugen and Yardang. So just understand what Eugen and Yardang is, and in exam you will have to write only these 7-8 words and this diagram. That's it. So ideally in the question of landform, suppose this is your answer booklet, you are writing landforms. You will write first landform, name, 1 2 words, just a diagram. Same thing, 2 3 words, diagram, 2 3 words, diagram. So in a piece of paper you will have 4 to 5 diagrams, right, in 200 words, and this will give you na 70 80% marks. And this is the reason why people are scoring like 170 out of 250 in CSE in paper 1, right? Because it has scope of a lot of diagram, right? You don't have to write much. Even people who are having bad handwriting, like people like me who is having bad handwriting and not very good, skill set to draw these diagrams, even I scored 172 twice in CSE, right, out of 250. So if you have a bad handwriting, then paper 1 is an opportunity, because you will have to write less words and more diagrams, and these are not very difficult diagrams, right? You just have to draw lines and all these things. So just like be careful with geomorphology. You can score very high, and if you don't practice all these diagrams, then your score will dip unnecessarily, right? So this is nothing but this is Eugen. This is a keyword which you need to remember. So here an earlier case would have been, there would have been layers like this, right? So this was a hard layer, right, and this was a soft layer. So when the wind is blowing like this, right, wind start hard, soft layer, wind start eroding it. So wind would erode only this much earlier, right, because it is a hard rock. But when the wind will start reaching the second layer, which is a soft rock, wind will start eroding more, because it is less resistant, it is less stronger, it is a weaker rock. So then again there is hard rock, then there is less erosion, then there is more erosion. So you can see some features like this. इस तरह के features you will get in desert, right? This is nothing but due to differential erosion, and here the orientation is horizontal. The stratas are horizontal, right? If the stratas are vertical, like this is a desert, and this is a rock, right? Rock 1, rock 2, rock 3, rock 4. Rock 1 and rock 3 are hard rocks, right? And rock 2 and rock 4 are soft rocks, right? So what will happen is wind will not be able to erode this much, but wind will erode this soft like more. Then again it will erode this less, it will erode this more. So you will get something like this, right? Are you able to see this one? What you will get, you will get in desert such kind of topography, right? Like these are all hills. So like this was a softer rock, so wind has eroded it more. So you just have to draw these two diagrams, right? This is a crest means peak, trough is the basin, or the bottom, right? So you will get yardangs. So in yardangs the rocks are horizontal, the rocks were horizontal, right? This earlier this was the rock A, B, C, D, and when erosion will happen, na, something like this. So this is A, this bottom one is B, then again this is C. So it was hard rock, it is soft rock, it is hard rock. So there is not much difference in Eugen and yardangs, but yardangs here both are formed due to differential erosion by wind. Just that in yardang the orientation of the rocks is vertical, and in Zuzang the orientation of rock is horizontal, right? So don't worry, I will be sharing this slide as well as my handwritten notes with you on the portal. So you can copy these diagrams there also if you have not drawn now, but it's better you practice these two simple diagrams, right? If you can get even better diagram on net in Google Images, you can make them, but like I found these very handy and understandable, so I included them in slide, right? And the last erosional landform which we have is famous one, ventifex. We call them ventifex. Actually this is not written in a lot of books, and people tend to forget this landform. Exam में आता है तो even I have written once deflection hollow, mushroom rock, Inselberg, and this Yugen and Yarden. These 4 point लिख के we tend to end the answer, right, in erosional landform. But do include the fifth erosional landform, which is ventifact, and it is like very easy. Like what is ventifact is, like maybe I have a better line. It is nothing. This is a big boulder in a desert, and the wind is blowing, right? So the wind will keep polishing the upper surface of this rock, like the wind is blowing, and which will lead to development of this face, right? A sharp edge or sharp face, a polished face develops, right? And then you will get something like this. So there are classification. You can draw this diagram for vent effects, right? So earlier this is a well-rounded rock or a gravel, and the wind will keep eroding it. Now this is the windward side, and this is the leeward side, right? So it will keep eroding it, and we will get a polished eroded pebbles, which we call them ventifacts, right? So see this figure here. We have two faces. This is one face, this is two face. So what would have happened earlier? Wind would have been blowing like this, then something could have happened. It would have turned it like this, right? फिर ये वाला face would have started developing a face. तो इस तरह कुछ हुआ होगा, right? Here you can see there are three faces. This is the first phase, this is the second phase पीछे इसके, and this is the third phase, right? Like I'll show you a better diagram for this. This, like this is ventifacts, right? So you have to just write this much: ventifact, the name in exam. These are the nothing, these are pebble which have faces, which is developed by the abrasive action of wind. These are, see, 4 or 5 words, and just draw this diagram. So even in German terms they have given name. So this they have named as geocanter. This they have named as drecanter. So geocanter is nothing but it is a rock with two smooth surfaces, surface A, surface B. Right? These are two smooth polished surfaces. Here in drecanter you can see three: A, B and C. Like ना, ये वाला पीछे वाला जो हो गया, तो ये दोनों A हो गया, ये वाला B हो गया, C हो गया. तो you get three smooth surfaces, right? So ज़्यादा डिटेल में जाना नहीं है. You just tell कि how it is formed due to abrasive action, and they can have many faces. If it has two faces, it is known as geocanter. If it has three faces, it is known as drecanter, right? So this is very simple thing. So I'll revise it for you again, like, right? So erosional features. The first one is, like we have covered yarding. So this is also the definition of yarding. Yarding, where there was horizontal, different, like the horizontal, sorry, vertical beds were there, which have differential resistance. So see, this was soft, it has eroded more. It was hard, it has eroded. It was eroded less, right? Ventifacts we have covered. Mushroom rocks also. See, this is a diagram of mushroom rock, right? So the Ayers rock, if you have seen, if you have heard about it, in Australia, it is an example of mushroom rock in the Australian
So,
desert. So,
uh,
sorry.
uh, uh, Ayers Rock is not an example of
Uh,
Eisenberg.
sorry, Inselberg. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Inselberg.
Inselberg. It is an example of Inselberg. Mushroom rock, I forgot. It is in Tamil Nadu. There is a place. There is a rock, famous rock. It is one of the geological survey of India's some heritage site. I'll tell you the name. So sorry, I said about it. It is Inselberg, right? This is Ayers rock is Inselberg, right? Thank you for correcting. So then this is blowout. Blowout, we know nothing. This is the initial condition. Then wind have started like blowing this area. We have got a depression, which we call as blowout. If this depression reaches the groundwater table, we will call it an oasis, right? Desert, water in the middle of desert, right? And this is again the desert pavement, right? So we also know how it is formed. It is formed by the first one, deflation only. The wind has carried all the smaller sand particles, and we'll get something like this. Now all pebbly, uniform size pebbles, we call it desert pavement, right? So these are 6 7 terms which you need to remember for erosional processes of erosional landforms of wind, right? Now we'll we'll cover the depositional landforms, right? So primarily there is only one important depositional landform, which is dunes. It is a very famous desert landforms, but just for the sake of more comprehensiveness, I've included two more. One is we call it lag deposits, one we call loess, right? So see, what is happening is, just like river, when the river originate, right, in the mountains, it has very high energy. Now, if you have taken a dip in Haridwar, you would have feel the pressure of Ganga, the velocity of river Ganga, because it is coming all the way from the Himalayas, and it has just reaching the plains, so it has high velocity. If you will go up in the Rudraprayag, in the Rudraprayag or other Prayags, Dev Prayag, all these places, the velocity is even more because the gradient is high, right? But as the river reaches its mouth, in after Kanpur, in West Bengal, like in the deltaic region, its velocity decreases. When its velocity decreases, it means its energy decreases, and it has less energy. If it is less energy, then it won't be able to carry the sediments, right? It won't be able to transport the sediment, and it will deposit. Simple. When the energy is high, it will erode. Not only river, even wind. When the energy is low, it will deposit, right? Low energy, right? So same thing happened with the wind. So in the desert, maybe wind is eroding, right? But when maybe it has an obstacle, it encountered a forest, or maybe a few lines of trees, right? So what happens? These are obstruction to the wind. They will decrease the velocity of the wind. Maybe instead of this tree, it could encounter a rock, a big mountain. Again, mountain will hinder its speed. Its energy will decrease, and it will start depositing. So when its energy of the wind will decrease, we will get depositional landforms, right? So these are lag deposits, right? So lag is cobbles and pebbles. They cannot be carried away for long distance by the wind, hence they are left behind. So see, maybe at some places wind would have been carried them, and they have deposited here and taken the other smaller to other places. So these are nothing but lag deposits, means they have lagged behind because of their more weight and more size. So this is nothing but a very simplistic. You can just add for your content. So lag deposit, and just draw that desert and draw big pebbles, and these are left behind because of low energy in the wind. Same is this loess. Loess is an important deposit, right? So lag deposits are generally of coarser sediment, right? You can see these are all big sediments, and in loess you can see this is nothing but these are more like sand only, right? So here the deposits are of clay and silt. Clay and silt are of smaller size, right? And they do not show any stratification. ना कोई ऐसे bedding, sedimentary bedding नहीं होती है इसमें, right? So loess is an unstratified. Unstratified means unconsolidated. नरम से हैं, not loose, relatively loose हैं. Deposits of silt and clay material, and they have yellowish in color. So simple. So they would have been deposited by a river, by a wind, which were carrying them from long distances, right? Like this is another see. So loess are nothing but they are fine dust blown by wind beyond the desert, right? So this is an example. You must have heard about the Huangho River. Huangho River of China, right? It was also earlier infamous for this floods and all these things, but it is also known as Yellow River, right? So it is yellow river, its color is yellow because of these sediments only. The wind is like from Central Asia and the Mongolian region. The wind is carrying a lot of sediments, and it is depositing in the this Huangho River area. So which has turned yellowish. So that is why we call it Yellow River, and it also meets the Yellow Sea. So Yellow Sea is also due to the same reason, right? So obviously deposition in river is not lowest deposit, but I was just trying to give you an example that wind carry smaller sediment to longer distance and deposit them, right? So this is the example. In lag deposit, the deposits are of cobble and pebble size, right? Cobble and pebble are coarser material. Inka size is more than 2. Can anybody tell me? It is more than 4 centimeter, right? You will read a classification in sedimentology. Cobble and pebble, these are technical terms, right? And clay and silt are also technical terms. So they have their diameter size less than 1 upon 16 millimeter, right? Something like that. Revise them. So this is it. So this is the only difference between lag deposits and loess, right? So we have two landforms, and the last and the most important landform by wind is the sand dunes, right? We also call them dunes. So okay. So basically, what are dunes? Dunes are nothing but these are mounds of sands, right? So what we have, if somebody has gone to a desert, maybe to Thar Desert, on the areas which are western of Jaisalmer, you must have seen a lot of dunes, right? In India also. So these are nothing but the mounds of sands, the deposition of sand, right? So like how they are formed is something like this, right? The wind is carrying these small sediment size, right? It will deposit here, then it will pick from here, it will deposit here, then it will pick from here, it will deposit here, something like that. But if there is some obstruction, there is some rock or something like that, it will keep piling up these sediments in at a particular place, and with time you will get something like structure like this, right? So again, this is called wind direction is this. So this is windward side and this is leeward side. Like so this is nothing but this is a, this is a example of dune, right? So some very important properties of dune is that a dune has a relatively gentle slope in the windward side. See, this is wind blowing, right? This is the wind blowing. So this is one face, we call it windward face. See, and this is the leeward face. So you can see this angle and this angle. This angle could, I think, is not more than 30 degrees, and this angle I think is somewhere around 60 degrees approximately. See, so this face is more steeper and this face is relatively gentler. So this is how a dune is formed. Suppose you, as a geologist, I take you to a field. Your professor take you to a field, right? In the desert, and he show you this sand dunes. He make this diagram, and he will ask you. He will not show the direction of wind, and he will ask you, "Ki, can you tell me which was the direction of wind? Whether wind was blowing in this direction, or wind was blowing in this direction when this was formed, right?" So just by observing this angle, you can predict कि भाई wind was flowing in this direction, right? So what this is what we do in sedimentology also, है ना? You have started with sedimentology. There is something known as sedimentary structures, right? So in sedimentary structures we study such structures and we try to study the paleo environment, right? We try to study the paleo environment. Paleo means nothing but ancient, right? So we study about the ancient environment. So maybe few million year ago you get a dune or you get a rock which has some structures. So you can predict कि उस जमाने में है ना उस few millions year ago what was the direction of the wind, right? What was the direction of the current? So these are some very subtle clues in geology which you can build the history, geological history. So I'm just giving a very small example. So by this you can see. So like we'll go in detail for it. So these are the handwritten notes. So wind carries sediments after erosion, and the wind transport it to distances when its energy decreases, right? So those deposition are known as dunes, right? So there are, in my notes I have included 5 kind of dunes, right? So this is a very famous question in UPSC civils or forest. हर alternate year आता है. Write a short note on dunes. So you will define dunes, right? It is in depositional landforms, and then you will write about various kinds of dunes, right? So in here I have included five kind of dunes. In slide there is one more, right? But major is only these two: transverse, longitudinal dunes, and this Barchans, right? You will get this content even in the NCRTs. NCRTs is also covered. So अभी तक any problem किसी को? Let please let me know that you are there.
No problem.
Okay. So like we'll complete this dune quickly then. So okay, the first one is the longitudinal dunes, right? So these are longitudinal dunes. They are also known as SEAF. I think once in IFS, like earlier times before 2014, 15, or maybe 12, when there were 4 mark question also, UPSC asked write a short note on SEAF, right? So how नहीं लगी किसी को कि यार है क्या? Nobody remembered what SEAF is. It is nothing but it is longitudinal dune, right? So उसमें बस इतना ही लिखना चाहिए था कि these are nothing but these are long narrow ridges of sand, right? You understand ridge? Ridge means the peak of the mountain, like peak kind of thing. Suppose this is a structure, so this is a ridge. पूरा चलेगा ये. Suppose this is a landform something like this. So ये जो area है इसको ridge बोलते हैं. The top of it, right? So these are long narrow ridges of sand, like, and they are lying in the direction parallel to the wind, right? So see this diagram. Yeah, this is a desert. ये पूरा का पूरा एक desert है, right? So in desert you will see something like this. इसको बना लो भी simplistic diagram है, right? So you see here only, you can see this is a ridge, ऐसे थोड़ा सा mountain type दिख रहा है. So this is nothing but this is a dune. We call it a longitudinal dune. Again, this is hill-like structure, longitudinal dune. What is happening is wind is blowing in this direction, but at this particular place, it could have come up with some one obstruction, right? So it start depositing the sand here. So फिर वो एक पूरा process initiate हो गया and it has deposited here, here, and here also. And in between we don't have these ridges, right? So you must have heard about in history in the history of Arabian Peninsula. Now people used to there used to be the desert caravan. People used to cross the whole desert, right? So these are the pathways, this which are between these dunes. So we call them corridors. Now these are barren rocks. So this is seaf. Then we have corridor. Then again we have a seaf, or we have a longitudinal dune, and we have a barren rock, or we call it corridor, right? So people cross desert using these corridors only, right? The caravans of the Arabians, right? So in earlier times, people used to cross desert using these, and here there is a heap of sand, right? So here the heap was, pretty straightforward, no? Like a rectangle or simple hill like structure. At some places, na, and where you will get this longitudinal deeps, you will get it in Sahara. There are a lot of longitudinal dunes in Thar Desert, right? And all the deserts of the world. This is one of the most common type of dune, right? Second most important kind of dune is Barchans, right? Barchans. बस इनके स्ट्रक्चर में फर्क आ जाएगा, हाउ दे लुक लाइक. So these barchans, so these deposits of sand, these are crescent shaped. Crescent means moon shaped, right? Half moon shaped. So see something like this. This is a barchan. These are pointed ends. These two, right? And these pointed end will point in the direction of wind, right? In the direction of wind. So suppose you go to a desert, and you need to identify ki what is the normal direction of the wind flow, and just you can see these points, and you can predict as a geologist that general direction of wind flow is this, right? So pointed end of crescent is in downstream direction, है ना? In the direction in which the wind is blowing, right? So this longitudinal reefs, like this is an added dimension. What are the conditions in which these will be formed? These will be formed when there is an hard ground, when there is a constant wind direction, and there is a barrier. When there will be a barrier, then only the wind will deposit the sand, right? So these 4 points are चेपर पॉइंट्स ना किसी भी ड्यून्स में लिख रहे हो यू कैन राइट दिस राइट दीज 4 पॉइंट्स देयर हैज टू बी अ हार्ड ग्राउंड देयर हैज टू बी some supply of sand. If the supply of sand is moderate, you will get barchans, right? If the supply of sand is huge, then you will get longitudinal as well as transverse, right? When and a constant wind direction, right? When the wind direction is not constant, sometime wind is blowing in this direction, sometime wind is blowing in this direction, sometime wind is blowing in this direction, then you will get a different kind of dunes, which we call as this pyramidal dune, right? So these are 5 chapo points. इनको तो लिख के रखो. You can write them in any kind of dunes, right? So this is just for normal content. You got it ना? Hard ground surface होना चाहिए जब भी deposit होगा. Supply of wind, it could be moderate, high or low. Wind direction, it could be constant or fluctuating, and there has to be barrier present, right? You'll you will get more clear now when we'll see the next slides, right? So this is again revision for the longitudinal dunes, right? So see, this is a snapshot taken from an aircraft. So you can see these are ridges of sand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are ridges, and these are corridors. These are hard ground. People travel the forest using them only, right? So this is a beautiful picture of longitudinal dune, right? This is also a longitudinal dune. These are ridges, right? And these are the caravan or the corridors, right? Then this is Barchan dunes. This is a beautiful diagram you can draw in exam, right? So this is a desert, and but the deposition are like this, right? These are the deposition, right? And the direction of wind is this. So you can see the direction of this pointed ends, it tells us the direction of wind, right? So these are crescent shaped, point 1, and they are formed in areas which have hard ground, moderate wind supply, and constant wind. Wind direction has to be in this direction only, right? Then we get this transverse dunes. See, longitudinal, if anybody know about long difference between longitudinal and transverse, longitudinal is basically parallel to the wind. Transverse is basically perpendicular, right? So suppose this is the wind direction of wind. So this is the transverse direction, right? These two directions are perpendicular direction, transverse direction. So you can see here in transverse dunes, we get what kind of landform we get is this is the direction of wind, and the deposition is perpendicular in this direction, right? So you can see step like figure na, you can see सीढ़ियों की तरह दिख रहा है, but these are nothing but these are made up of sand only, right? So these are transverse deposition. See this figure. These are this is the direction of wind flow, and these are all these are transverse dune, right? And then the fourth kind of dune is the parabolic dune, right? So it is a very rare kind of dune, right? Barchans are more famous. So it is nothing but it is pretty similar like barchans, right? Barchan भी तो ऐसे ही दिख रहा था ना, something like this, right? But फर्क ये है कि इसमें these ends are pointed opposite to the direction of wind flow, right? बस इतना ही फर्क है. So they are most common in coastal areas, right? This is also like this is a right, this one is a parabolic dune, right? So the इसमें first point is their end faces upward or na, in the opposite direction to the wind direction, and they are common in coastal areas, right? They also need abundant supply. They need vegetation so that they get an obstruction, and they should have a constant wind direction. So these 4 chepo points you can write in almost all the dunes. बस थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगा के you need to change ये चीज है कि wind direction will it be constant or it will be fluctuating, whether the supply of sand has to be moderate or high, and ground surface तो होना ही चाहिए, right? And there has to be a barrier so that wind deposits. So these 4 points you can write in all the dunes, right? if UPSC asks you specific sand dunes, right? And the last one is star dune, right? So in star dune, what happens is mm, the wind direction is variable. Suppose this is a desert and one time wind is blowing in this direction, है ना? Maybe after few years wind changes its direction due to local reason. Then wind direction is this one. The wind keep changing its direction. So you will get those deposits also like this only, right? So you will get something like a star dunes. We call it a star dune. This is a figure, right? So there is the only need is variable wind direction and abundant supply of sand. Nothing like very special about it, right? So these are my notes. We covered this one. Definition, types of dune. We did longitudinal dune. I think you are comfortable with it now. You can draw these are barchans, and then this is the diagram you can draw for transverse dune, right? So this is barchan, this is windward side, this is leeward side, right? And you can draw this simple. Then this is parabolic one. Parabolic is pretty similar like barchans, but that they should have abundant vegetation. They are more common in coastal areas, and of course their points end in the direction opposite to the wind, right? So you can draw this diagram also. This is nothing but a land surface, and these are trees, right? A lot of trees. So you will get something deposit like this around these trees. You will get such dune deposit, and right. So and the fifth one is obviously the star dunes, right? Star dunes na due to variable wind direction. Wind direction is here, wind direction is here, wind direction is here. You will get a star like dunes. This is also rare, but you can find it in almost all the desert, especially when there is fluctuation in the wind, right? So this is nothing, but I've included detailed slides. You can go through them, right, for more content. So the diagram is there, and I have these are crescent shape. These are unidirectional wind flow. Now they need more sand supply, and their height does not exceed 30 meters for barchans, right? For transverse wave, obviously they are formed at the right angle to the prevailing wind direction. They need strong winds, large supply of sand, and their size is like more than 50 kilometers. Like they are more massive. So these are common points. What? Hard ground, hard ground barrier, supply of sand, vegetation. So you can write an answer based on these 4 5 points and using your common sense, right? Then we have this parabola. So parabolic dunes use it requires a lot of vegetation. If the area has vegetation, then we will get this parabolic dunes, right? And then there is one new one. You can include it in if you could remember in exam, the sixth one. Now it was written in a book, whale back dune, right? The shape looks like the back of a whale, right? It is nothing. Earlier at the bottom we have a longitudinal dune, right? In that corridor and the ridge pattern we have this, and above it on the top of it if we get a barchan, right? So whaleback dune is nothing. It is sheaf dune plus barchan, है ना? Dune number 1 plus dune number 2, if they are found together overlapping each other, we call them whaleback dunes, right? It is formed in some part of Africa, some part of Australian desert. So hence this classification. So I think we are done with the depositional wind landform also, right? We still have some time. So anybody has any doubt on these dunes? Are you there, awake?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. So like this is the last part. Actually, I could cover it in Fluvo also. And actually in exam, I myself have forgotten this part. If they are suppose UPSC is asking a 20 marker question on desert landform, right? So like मैंने बोला है आपसे कि all landforms are divided into either erosional, either depositional, right? तो एग्जाम में भी यही ध्यान रहता है. वी राइट 5 or 6 we have read, and we have write about dunes here. We maybe you will write about lag deposit, Loess, right? Here you will write about deflation hollow in Selberg. What else we have read? Mushroom rock, right? Yardang and Zuzang. You will write all these things, Ventifex, right? And you will end the answer. Even I did the same. But there could be a third form of desert landform, which we call as fluvo desert landform, right? These are the landforms which are made by combined effort of water and wind. So it is pretty simple. There are 3 4 new terms, but if you are able to write this fluvo desert landform in the question of Aeolian or in desert landform, you will definitely be awarded +2 marks than rest of the janta. Right? If somebody is scoring 11 out of 50, writing a good answer, you will score 13 out of 15. Right? So it is an added thing. Right? वो बहुत सारी बुक्स में भी नहीं दिया होता. सविंदर सिंह ने भी मिस कर दिया फ्लूवियल डेजर्ट लैंडफॉर्म विद इन द डेजर्ट, राइट. सो विल कवर इट वेरी क्विकली, राइट. सो इसमें दो ही आपको लिखना है बेसिकली. वन इज फ्लूवो डेजर्ट. फ्लूवियल इज लाइक रिवर, राइट. So these landforms are created by combined effort of river and wind. Desert means wind, right? So the first one is badland topography, right? So badland topography, we have heard this term earlier also in yesterday, where we like read about badland. Anybody attempt
Chambal Ravine.
Chambal ravine, and we classified badland as a type of desert, right? We did, right? We had 5 types of desert. One is stony, rocky, the common Saharan desert, we call it Erg. Then, right, and then one in the last we have badland. One we have mountain desert, right? You heard this classification, huh? डोंट फॉरगेट, इसको याद रख के रखो. ये इतना सा तो याद करना है. तो हमने इसको बैडलैंड को टाइप ऑफ डेजर्ट में भी क्लासिफाई कर रखा था. तो वो डेजर्ट ही है बेसिकली, लाइक क्योंकि इट्स प्रॉपर्टीज आर लाइक डेजर्ट ओनली. रेनफॉल कम होता है, नो वेजिटेशन, राइट. सो वी रेड अबाउट चंबल also na. This was the badland. It was a whole plateau, but due to wind and rainfall, छोटे छोटे से channels developed हो गए, and with time they keep like getting big and big and big, and we got this very rugged topography, which is unfit for even vegetation. Agriculture हो नहीं सकता, forest भी नहीं उग रहा है, so it is barren land only, right. So we classify it technically as a desert only. So that is why there is economic problem, and hence the cat a lot of such social issues happen there. So this is badland. So in fluvio-glacial landform, you can also write about these badlands, right? So what is badland is this is an example of bad. It is a picture taken from USA. It is a badland. So it could have been a very beautiful plateau few millions years ago, but due to some rainfall and some random erosion, see everything is destroyed. Now this area is of no use. You cannot plant trees here. You cannot do agriculture here. You cannot make industries here. कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So this is a barren land only, very rugged and very eroded landform. It is badland, right? So badland, we have some content over it. Badland has it is a dry terrain, made up of various sedimentary rocks and soil, devoid of soil basically, and it is made by the combined effort of wind and water, right. So they have steep slopes, they have almost minimal vegetation, and they lack soil. Regolith matlab soil, the top layer, right. And see how badlands are formed. Badlands are formed by erosion, right. So in geography you will hear about erosion and types of erosion. So in types of erosion, these are the names: drill erosion, gully erosion, ravine erosion. So what is happening is nothing. Earlier it was a plateau or a hill, and small channels start developing here, right. सबसे पहले channel बनेंगी. You understand the channel even in agriculture field. When we irrigate, so there are some small channels are there. ना. If there is more slope like here, then this channel will start getting deeper. So you'll get a small, more like little bit bigger channel, which we call them rill. If this rill or this channel become even more steeper and even more larger, these gullies are formed, right? And if these gullies become even more bigger, we call them ravine. So this is normal progression: rill to gully to ravine to badland, right? And after badland we'll get this canyon and all these things, but this is fine if you are able to remember these four terms. That channel, small channels get converted into rill. When there is more erosion, they are converted into gully, and then there is more erosion, they are converted into ravine, right? So this is rill. What is rill? Rill is a narrow channel, है ना, cut due to erosive action of flowing water and wind. Then if those channel gets bigger, some large ditches are found, right? Large ditches are made, we are call them gully. These are in tens of meter, 10-20 मीटर की इनकी डायमेंशन होगा. If this dimension becomes in maybe hundreds, some hundreds of meter, we call them ravines. Like these are larger in scale than gullies. So this is a natural progression. Firstly, some channels of erosion will be formed. वो बड़ी होंगी तो rill से we'll get gully, then we'll get ravine, and then the badland topography is formed, right? So this is nothing important, just mention करने के लिए लिख देना. And then the second and the last landform is we call as bolson, right? ये मतलब हम एडिशनल कर रहे हैं फॉर एक्स्ट्रा मार्क्स. अगर आप ये लिख पाओगे ना तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, और एक्चुअली बहुत नाम जरूर नया लग रहा होगा, बट इट इज वेरी वेरी इजी, राइट? सो कुछ है नहीं इसमें. सो सी, I'll tell you, this is a better slide, right? So bolson, what are bolson? Bolson are nothing but these are intermountain basin. Intermountain मतलब दो माउंटेन्स के बीच में. दिस इज अ माउंटेन and this is a mountain. So this is a mountain, this is a mountain or hill, and this area is known as intermountain basin. Intermountain we spell as mountain, right? So these are intermountain basin in arid and semi-arid areas, right? So suppose see this diagram, right? This is a very simple diagram. ये जो बनाया हुआ है ये हिल है, हिल ना, एक माउंटेन है. सिमिलरली ये भी एक माउंटेन है. This is also a mountain, right? So this area in between this is a intermountain basin. Suppose in this basin we have also a valley, एक river kind of thing है, और a lake है, हाँ, which we call as a playa lake. If anybody of you have visited Ajmer, right? Have you seen the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan? If you'll see even the picture of Sambar Lake, you will see that there is a lake, right? And the lake is surrounded almost in all the four sides, at least three sides by Aravalis. So here there are Aravali mountains, right? Aravali mountains, and this is nothing but intermountain basin, and then there are again Aravalis mountain, right? In this side. So this is an example of playa. Playa lake बोलते हैं, or you can also call them playa. So this is this, ये वाला जो part है where there is a river or a lake, we call it a playa. And then this is mountain, so it is high slope. With धीरे धीरे when we'll move towards playa lake, gradient will change ना, जो उसका direction of dip है, gradient है, it will decrease, right? Something like that. So this is mountain. Mountain के थोड़ा सा नीचे आएंगे, foothills of mountain, you will get hard rock only, right? Those hard rock we call them pediment, right? उसके बाद थोड़ा सा आगे आएंगे, ऑल्सो ये माउंटेन्स हैं. तो व्हेन देयर विल बी रेन, लाइक कभी कभी तो सेमी एरिड एरियाज में रेन होती है, तो वील गेट सम टेम्पररी रिवर, टेम्पररी स्ट्रीम्स मिलेंगी. So those stream will bring some sediments from the mountain and they will deposit it here. Those deposition we call them bahada. Bahada. It is spelling Bajada, Bajada, but we spell it Bahada. It's sorry, Bahada. तो कुछ नया नहीं पढ़ा अपन ने बस तीन चीज पढ़ी है कि ये एक माउंटेन है, ये एक माउंटेन है, उसके बीच में स्लोप कम होता जाएगा. यहाँ पे देर इज अ वैली, सॉरी वैली तो ऐसी होती है, देर इज अ वैली एंड अगेन देर इज अ माउंटेन, राइट? तो ये माउंटेन है, ये माउंटेन है, This is a hard rock. This is hard rock, right? And here there are some deposition. Deposition of what? Deposition of माउंटेन से जो इरोड करके हिल्स लेके आएंगे. तो दिस डिपोजिशन को वी कॉल देम पेडिमेंट्स. दिस हार्ड रॉक को वी कॉल इट सॉरी, डिपोजिशन को वी कॉल देम बहाड़ा. वी दिस हार्ड रॉक को वी कॉल देम पेडिमेंट्स. एंड दिस वैली और द लेक वी कॉल प्लाया. एंड ये पूरा का पूरा लैंडस्केप वी कॉल इट बोल्सन. राइट, बस इतना ही याद करना है. सो इसको फिर से जूम इन कर लो. राइट, सो दिस इज बोल्सन लिखना है, फ्लूवियल लैंडफॉर्म. इसके अंदर देर आर 3 स्मॉल landform. One is playa, second is bahada, sorry, and the third is pediments. Right. So pediment is nothing but it is an area between mountain front and bahada. Bahada is nothing but it is a gently sloping depositional plain. ना यहाँ पे the ephemeral or the temporary streams they deposit the sediment from the mountain, right? So this is nothing but this is bahada. And here we have a lake, na, but playa is nothing but it is a temporary lake formed by ephemeral means seasonal streams originating from the mountains, right? बस इतना सा डायग्राम बनाना है and you will like definitely get +2 marks in desert landform, right? Few example of this playa is, one is famous Nal Sarovar lake in Gujarat. I think it is also the part, it is an important wetland in India. And even I think Samar Lake is an example of playa or playa lake, right? ये यहाँ लिखा भी हुआ है, Nal Sarovar in Gujarat and Sambar. So Sambar also is a playa lake surrounded by what? Aravali mountains. Aravali. Here we have Sambar Lake. तो उसी के आसपास you will get Bajahada, whatever deposition you will get Bahada, and here we will get what? Pediments, right? So ये Bolson is nothing but just a landscape और इसके अंदर 3 different landforms हैं, playas, bahadas and pediments, right? तो ये वाला डायग्राम प्रैक्टिस कर लो, बहुत इजी सा डायग्राम है, कुछ भी नहीं है इसमें. 2 माउंटेन्स, यहाँ पे छोटा सा लेक, वैली जैसा लेक बता देना है, एंड छोटे छोटे डिपोजिशन बता दो, सेडिमेंट्री डिपोजिशन वी कॉल देम बहाड़ा और दीज आर पेडिमेंट्स, राइट? तो इससे प्रॉपर +2 मार्क्स मिलेंगे अपन को 15 में से इन फ्लूवियल डेजर्ट लैंडफॉर्म. प्लस अब यूपीएससी का जैसा ट्रेंड होते जा रहा है, आई वोंट बी सरप्राइज अगर यूपीएससी डायरेक्टली ये पूछ ले, राइट ए शॉर्ट नोट 8 मार्कर में फॉरेस्ट में या 10 मार्कर में सिविल्स में, या राइट ए शॉर्ट नोट ऑन फ्लूवियल डेजर्ट लैंडफॉर्म, राइट? तो फिर आप व्हाट यू विल डू, यू विल डिस्क्राइब कि भाई ये क्या होते हैं. विंड और लैंड दोनों, विंड और रिवर दोनों के कंबाइन एफर्ट से बनते हैं. बैडलैंड इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ इट. बैडलैंड में एक लाइन लिख दो, गली इरोजन, रिल, गली, ravine, right? And then talk about bolson में you have to just give 3 these keywords, a diagram बना दो और just describe them briefly, you will get good marks, right? So with this we have comprehensively done our wind landforms, right? So अभी 12 बजने में 10 मिनट है. So I just want to initiate you. इसमें किसी को डाउट है कुछ?
No, sir.
ओके, सो लाइक गुड. अब अपन, आई वांट टू इनिशिएट यू इन, अभी मैं वैसे प्लान मेरा था ग्लेशियल लैंडफॉर्म करने का, बट टाइम नहीं है इतना, तो आई थिंक आई विल स्टार्ट विद ग्राउंड लैंडफॉर्म्स मेड बाय ग्राउंड वाटर, राइट? तो बहुत इजी है, इसको ओवरव्यू ले लेंगे जल्दी से 10 मिनट में, एंड वील आई विल डू इट even like properly tomorrow or whenever the next class is, right? So we'll talk about landforms created by groundwater, right? So groundwater, ये तो आप like ये अपनी दुनिया है, ठीक है? यहाँ पे वी आर हैविंग फन, ट्रीज लगी हैं, कार घूम रही है ना. ग्राउंड वाटर तो उसके अंदर होता है, नीचे को ना समवेयर हियर हो जाएगा. तो इवन इन दिस ग्राउंड वाटर इन दी सब सरफेस it makes some landforms, right? So जब ये landforms, you must have seen ना, people go in the cave, अभी लास्ट ईयर there was maybe 15-20 students in Thailand. They went inside a cave kahin se to play football, and flooding happened, and there was a big rescue operation and all that thing. So those were nothing but those were cast topography, जहाँ वो फुटबॉल खेलने गए थे beneath the earth कहीं से. That was nothing but carbonate or limestone cave thing, right? So basically, that is what we will be reading. So these some if UPSC asks you to write about landforms in groundwater, or they ask you write a short note on karst topography, तो ये same चीज ही है, right? Karst topography is also known as groundwater landforms are also known as karst topography. So actually, what are karst topography? Karst topography is nothing but these are landforms formed by chemical weathering of limestone by groundwater. ये तीन keywords हैं. So it is related to groundwater. When groundwater interact with limestone, limestone is a important what rock? Is it metamorphic, igneous, or sedimentary?
Sedimentary.
Yes, it is a sedimentary rocks, right? इसका composition is calcium carbonate. Like limestone has more than 70% of कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट, थोड़ा और सीमेंट और दूसरी चीजें होंगी, बट इट इज 70% कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट, राइट? दिस लाइमस्टोन व्हेन इट गेट, इट इज अ सेडिमेंटरी रॉक, व्हेन इट गेट मेटामॉर्फोज्ड, क्या बनाएगा ये?
Marble.
परफेक्ट, राइट? इट विल मेक मार्बल, जो हम अपने घर में लगाते हैं, राइट? सो दीज आर सेम कंटेंट, कंपोजिशन वाइज limestone and marble are same, but just marble is a metamorphosed limestone, right? So marble also can form this karst topography, right? Even in maybe in Madhya Pradesh, right, near this Narmada river, near Jabalpur area, you can find some example of karst topography. What is karst topography, we'll read subsequently, right? So here my point is, it is formed by groundwater when it interact with limestone. When groundwater interact with limestone, it undergoes or it does chemical weathering, right? Chemical weathering. Weathering, we know. What is weathering? Weathering is in situ disintegration of rocks, right? It is like breaking up of rocks. So if the breaking up is taking place chemically, we call it chemical weathering, right? So I have left chemical weathering in last class, but मैं आपको एक overview दे देता हूँ थोड़ा सा. We'll do it in detail again. So see, focus here, right? Chemical weathering. So what are the ways in which chemical weathering happen? Chemical weathering can happen via dissolution. Dissolution मतलब पूरा का पूरा डिसॉल्व कर लेना, कि दिस इज अ रॉक, दिस इज मे बी अ लाइमस्टोन, यहाँ पे रेन हो रही है, water is coming, these are joints. So water will dissolve this area and make void of it, right? It gets dissolved and it gets uh, what we call it flown away from here, right? So this is dissolution. There could be some chemical reaction like ion exchange. There could be hydration and dehydration. Hydration means addition of water. है ना, addition of water in crystal structure. Dehydration is removal of water from crystal structure, right? Then there is oxidation and something like that. We'll see, this is the first one, which is dissolution. The types of chemical weathering, or how chemical weathering happens. So in dissolution, whole or partial rock, the partial rock, it gets dissolved, like it happens with limestone. See, what happens is, limestone. What is limestone? Limestone is calcium carbonate, right? And suppose where there is a rainwater, and rainwater comes in contact with carbon dioxide, or it becomes something acidic. It will form what? Carbonic acid. This is basic reaction. So when this acidic water comes in contact with calcium carbonate, which is what? Limestone. What happens is, it leads to formation of bicarbonate. CO3 minus 2 is carbonate. But if there is hydrogen here, minus 1, it is bicarbonate. So see this one. See this reaction. Here, this acidic water is reacting with calcium carbonate, that is limestone, and it is forming calcium ion and bicarbonate. And bicarbonate are they can be dissolved in water. ना वो पानी मतलब रॉक को पानी बना देगा एंड द रॉक विल गेट वॉश्ड अवे, राइट? So it will get dissolved away. So this is the process of weathering. Ultimately it leads to breaking of rocks, right? So this is the process of dissolution. So karst topography is formed due to dissolution of limestone by acidic water, right? Simple. Other kind of chemical weathering is, one is ion exchange, right? In ion exchange, what happens is there is a rock or a mineral, water comes, water or the solution have some ABCD ion, it has CD ions, so A will replace C, B will replace D, something this kind of is happening in ion exchange, and due to this reaction this will get destroyed, right? So this is an example, K feldspar, right? K feldspar, when it comes in contact with acidic solution, this is we get silicic acid as well as potassium ion, right? And this is dissolvable in water, right? Can anybody tell me what is K feldspar? If somebody can tell me name of 3 K feldspar, any 3 K feldspar, I'll definitely give him a Kit Kat.
Orthoclase, Cyanidine, Microclean.
Who is giving the answer? I need to like write it down. किसने दिया आंसर?
For me.
राहुल ने. Oh, very good. ठीक है, तो you have revised this feldspar in detail and very good. If you are able to tell me this, if you are able to tell me this OSM, right, A, then like it is very very impressive. हमने पढ़ा है ना feldspar में there are 2 solid solution series, एक albite to anorthite and one is K feldspar वाली. So OSM, orthoclase, cyanidine, microclean, and orthoclase, and here albite to anorthite we made a mnemonic. What was it? OALB, right? So if you are able to remember what all these labradorite, bitonite, right, this is it. You are like in definite good command of mineralogy, right? So like very good. I owe you a Kit Kat, right? So
Last time Dairy Milk भी है.
अच्छा पहले की भी है. Okay, there are two. Don't worry, you will get all them, right? So good. We, this is an example of ion exchange. So K feldspar, it gets converted into this, right? Then there is hydrolysis. In hydrolysis what happens is mineral, uh, there is an addition of H plus or maybe addition of OH minus, right? Then there is this hydration or dehydration. If there is a rock, there are minerals. Rock is nothing but aggregate of minerals. Some solution comes up and it adds H2O, or maybe some solution come up and it takes away its H2O, dehydration. So in that process also it gets destroyed, it gets weathered, right? So what I'm covering it, I will do it again. Chemical weathering operates in these way. Either it will dissolve the rock, maybe there will be some chemical reaction, ion exchange reaction, maybe there will be hydration or dehydration. See, this is where chemical weathering operates, right? So our focus presently is karst topography, right? So in karst topography what happens is, whether if there is a limestone, right, this is how we draw limestone in geology. If you get a question जहाँ पे इस तरह कुछ बना हुआ है rock, it is limestone, right? एक standard सा वो है उसका, right, limestone का. So if limestone react with water which is acidic, some chemical weathering happens. So what will happen is those reaction will lead to formation of some landforms which are known as karst landforms, right? So what are they? We'll study in subsequent slide, but before that I will give you these two things, right? So sometimes they may ask you, like UPSC is asking such stupid questions these days, that distribution of karst areas. Now name some areas where you can find karst topography. The first area you should, which should come in your mind is Yugoslavia, right? Yugoslavia has beautiful limestone caves. Even this all most of the terms, most of the landforms का name जो है हम पढ़ेंगे they are all, they have this Czech Republic origin, right? Language में. So basically Yugoslavia में there are lot of good mines in good karst topography, right? In Yugoslavia comes in Eastern Europe, right? So you can write Eastern Europe. In United States there are a lot of, carbonate rocks and this karst topography. In the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, this is Andalusia mountains in Spain, southern plants में, in even in Alps you can find. Uh, Alps is a mountain like Himalayas. It is found in France and Europe. So in this area, you can just write it. In if somebody asks you in where you can find this karst topography in India, like these are few famous names. I have visited this Tapkeshwar temple in Dehradun. There you can get a lot of limestone cave, right? वहाँ पर कुछ कुछ स्टेलेगमाइट स्टेलेक्टाइट कुछ फीचर्स मिल जाते हैं. Then near my home, this Pachmadi, here there are a lot of limestone cave, and even in Chhattisgarh, Bastar. These three are very famous, and presently in current affair, this is also very famous. In Cherrapunji, Meghalaya, there are lots of limestone cave, right? So maybe in news you must have heard about Meghalayan age. If you have not heard about it, Google it. Right? It was in current affairs, maybe last year, maybe last year, right? So there is an amendment in geological time scale, and they have added a small age. They have added actually three different small ages of recent time. One of them is Meghalayan age, right? So read about it. So that Meghalayan age they have added now, it is related to a limestone cave only. You know, there is a cave. They are very like huge and deep limestone caves in Meghalaya. So scientists or geologists have studied them, and they have found some, evidences. Based on that, they have classified this specific time era. I'm not sure about it. Is maybe 2500 years ago to 42 million 20 to 4200 years ago. एक बार कंफर्म कर लेना. तो तीन नई एजेस ऐड की हैं, एक मेघालयन भी है उसमें से. तो वो लाइमस्टोन केव से लिंक्ड है. तो देयर आल्सो यू कैन फाइंड लाइमस्टोन केव. सो दिस इज योर होमवर्क टू रीड अबाउट मेघालयन एज ना न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल से, राइट? सो अगेन, and before starting the landforms, this is the last thing, right? What are the conditions in which karst landforms or karst topography is formed, right? We'll study what are karst topography, but these are just preconditions. So the first precondition is there should be presence of a soluble rock, right? Calcium carbonate, it's soluble in acidic water. Means limestone, maybe marble. If we get such rocks, then only we will get karst landform, right? So this is the first condition. Second condition is these rocks should be jointed. This is the rock. There has to be some joints in them so that water can percolate and do some work, right? So this is the second. They should be jointed. Then the third one is the area should have abundant rainfall. जब rainfall होगा तो ही तो water will be able to seep in, right? The fourth one is the water table, ground water table should be below the limestone, right? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि water table बहुत ही ऊपर है. Water table has to be bit below. Only then we can get the landforms, right? And the last one is there has to be considerable relief. कि इतना flat सा वो ना हो. There has to be some relief so that water has some leeway to do erosional work, right? So this is a very general slide. कभी कभी पूछ लेते हैं डायरेक्टली या इंटरव्यू में पूछ लेते हैं, लाइक मुझसे मॉक में पूछा है बहुत बार कि व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस एसेंशियल फॉर कार्स्ट टोपोग्राफी. तो बस यही सब पूछना चाहते हैं कि लाइमस्टोन होना चाहिए, रेनफॉल अबंडेंट होना चाहिए. जो लाइमस्टोन होगा इट शुड बी जॉइंटेड, राइट? वाटर टेबल जो होना चाहिए वो इट शुड बी बिलो, मच बिलो दी लाइमस्टोन, राइट? और रिलीफ होना चाहिए उस एरिया में. So these are the five condition. Nothing difficult. The slide इतनी बड़ी दिख रही है, but these are only the five condition, right? So see, I have also summarized it here. The essential conditions for development of karst topography. See this diagram. The first is there should be limestone, and that limestone should be big enough, right? I have written there should be less porosity, right? This is also a condition. Groundwater table should be below limestone, and there should be substantial rainfall, right? So nothing big. You just read this slide and make small notes. ऐसे 5 points के 5 keywords के notes बना लेना, right? So you'll understand why these conditions are necessary. We'll discuss this again at the end of the class, right? Again, and what are the reactions taking place? ये हो गया आपके लिए folder हो गया. हाँ, see these are the landforms जो हमको पढ़ना है एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के लिए, right? Again, there is karst topography, karst landform. They are either erosional or they are either depositional. I'll end the class in 5 to 6 minutes, so don't worry, right? Uh, are you there?